welcome back, YouTube. And I want to thank everybody for logging on to Sexy.5526, where you checked out all my artists, including the Paper Boy, who was on last week's episode of Exposed, where we talked about the economy in Detroit. And just to give you an update, there has been no changes in Detroit on the economy besides the summer 5,000 streetlights that have been fixed in some areas. Dave Bean still isn't helping Detroit. Q Patrick has not been turning in his money from his book sales. Dave Bean wants to be the city's emergency financial manager, but I feel like he should not be involved with anything that goes on here, especially when he doesn't even want to invest in the city at all. But let's move on to today's episode, where we will be talking about what society thinks of men and women in Detroit. And my guest today, for business purposes, will not be showing his face, but his name is Donald Trump. He owns a chain of dry cleaners, and before that, he worked with Free Press and, had the latest gossip on everything that's going on here in Detroit. And because of that, I think I want to get involved with our subject today and just talk about some of these things and what's going on in this society and what the society thinks of us as men and women here in Detroit. So, but let's see what's been going on with you, Mr. Trump. So, about those chain of dry cleaners, I mean, how's that going? And
it's a nice chain, but I can't really say which dry cleaners I own, but I do own 12.
Right,
and we do have a couple of commercials and stuff that's on the tube. So it's a real successful business. But before that, I did work for the Free Press. So.
Oh, that's great, Mr. Tramp. And just to speak with you further into your life, I mean, are you married? Do you have any kids? What's going on? What should the people of Detroit know about you besides, you own this great business where we can always come and get tailor-made suits, dry cleaned, or whatever we need?
Yes. I do have 12 kids.
Wow,
since
Mr. Trump. Wow, Mr. Trump.
I don't know what it is. The women, they just all
Trump.
over me because I got these 12 dry cleaners, so I make a lot of money. So I don't know what it is.
Okay, Mr. Trump.
Not married, though.
Great, Mr. Trump. Okay, let's get on into the subject at hand. I just, want to get deep into it because I think it's very important that we talk about this. And my first question for you is, when society sees our black men robbing, stealing, on child support, how did you think that make us look as a city?
I mean, I think that my personal opinion and stuff to that is, I think that makes us look real bad. I mean, folks that rob and steal, they have a bad image on the city. It really makes us look bad. But I want the whole world to know that we're not all like that. It's just
right,
a couple of bad apples in a bunch.
You're right.
So you just got to look at it like that and keep going and doing what you do.
So true, Mr. Trump. Yeah. So what should black men do to let society see us in a different light?
I feel like as young black men, we have to be entrepreneurs. You never want to work for a person. You always want to own your own thing. I think that really what we need to do is stop robbing and killing and stealing and start to educate yourself. You need to get your mind set. It's like Jay-Z said, you got to get your mind right.
Working together as a team, I mean, I think that brothers should look out for each other and make sure that they can help support each other through the times of need. I mean, I think that would help make our city a better city. And moving on to that next question. So what do you think society is thinking about our black men relationships?
I think that as far as the black male and the black female relationship, they think it's all about sex and nothing about love, and they feel like we won't have money or things of that nature. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not like that. Everybody is out to do exactly what they need to do.
Well, Mr. Trump, I think that's so true, but I also know as a black woman here in Detroit that it's kind of hard to find a man that's committed or wants to take that plunge, let's say. I mean, they find good women all the time, beautiful women. They have successful jobs. I mean, you know, ready to just take that plunge. And we have so many men who's running from it. I mean, basically, they don't know what they want. So I just think that that's great that we touch on that and that we know what, as a black man of your own stature, what do you feel about that? So why is the black woman needed here, do you think?
I think that they're here to help carry on our, you know what I'm saying, legacy as black males. You know, they're here to make us look better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I feel like we also need each other, so it goes like both ways. You know, black guys are here for black women. Black women are here for black guys. It's just no way to get around it. You know what I'm saying? It's like two peas in a pod.
Yes, I think we have a very strong and uplifting purpose
Really
here,
strong.
you know, because we are, most of our men's backbone, we're very strong. No matter what hits us, we're able to overcome it. And moving on to my next question, I guess I want to know, what are some of the struggles that you see black women go through?
I mean, as far as the black women and their struggles, they go through a whole lot, you know. I mean, not only with their period, but they also go through
It cramps a
being
lot. It
viewed,
really hurts.
right, I understand. I mean, what they go through is being viewed as, you know, I guess the women who's not independent, when, you know, I guess nowadays they are becoming a little bit more independent. But us as males, we also doing our thing, though, you know what I'm saying? But everybody's not on the same page, you know.
Well, Mr. Trump, I think it's very important that I say that most of our black women here in Detroit, we go through so much because we go from, you know, being harassed at work, you know, struggling, trying to take care of our 1 to 5 kids, maybe no support from the baby daddy, no calls, no child support coming in. So I can speak and say that it's very hard for us here, and I think that it's very important that we speak on that. We let it be known how hard it is for men and women, basically, here in Detroit. So do you think that women are looking for sex or love?
I think that it all counts on who the person is, you know. I think that most women start out to look for love, you know what I'm saying, but in the end it can, or it may not turn into sex, you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's all about the person you meet in the end, you know. I mean, even if you meet a person with good sex but no love, it'd be all about sex and no love.
True, and you know, we meet so many people that are, you know, in love and they're so happy, and then boom, everything turns bad. And now, you know, everybody's having sex everywhere and everybody's having sex with everybody. So it turns good to bad quickly if it's not meant. And, you know, that's why it's important that we stress how important it is that, you know, we don't want society to think that we're just doing this for no reason. We do have a purpose. So how do you feel about sex and kids before marriage, and how do you feel it will affect us as a race?
I feel like sex or kids before marriage, hey, you know, if it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got really a big deal about that. It's always good. I understand. It's always good to be married and have kids, but hell, if it ain't meant to be, you know what I'm saying? If you ought to be married before kids, then it ain't meant to be.
True, Mr. Trump. It ain't good. And Mr. Trump, I understand what you're saying, because it's so hard to just get an honest, true opinion from someone so real and honest that can tell us how they truly feel.
That's always, I keep it 100.
Right, Mr. Trump. And I know that you feel strongly about this because I've heard you written about this, a few articles in the Free Press about how marriages will, you know, work out only if you have the friendship first, and, you know, so I just support that as well. But what do you think about, I mean, what do you think society purpose is when they, you know, I mean, What do you think the purpose of society is when they talk about our culture?
I mean, as far as the black race, is that what you mean?
Yes.
I think that they see us as being inferior people, but on the rise, you know. They think we sneaky, you know what I'm saying, and like smart in a way, so they try to outsmart us, but you can't outsmart a black person.
Right, because we're usually always thinking ahead, even when it seems like we're not. We know what we sometimes don't talk about, and we sometimes don't touch on it just because of the fact. And Mr. Trump, I appreciate all these questions you're answering for us today, because I know you're a busy man, and these questions are very, close to home when it comes to the black man and the black woman. And I think for my final question of tonight is, what will be different for our culture in 10 years, do you think?
I think we're going to be going straight to the top. You know what I'm saying? We already on the rise and stuff. It ain't nothing but good times for us around this month.
So true, Mr. Trump. So true.
So true.
So true. And, I want to thank my guest, Mr. Trump, even though we weren't able to see his face because, like I said, of business purposes only. We weren't able to, get deep into his lifestyle, but we do know he's a great person. He owns 12 chains of dry cleaners, and you can always catch him falling through at sexy.5526. And I appreciate everyone logging on, sharing your thoughts and your views from last week. Episode, hoping that you'll always come and check out all my guests that comes through and sits down and talks with me. And you will always check out and see the new videos logged on. Just hit me up at youtube.com, sexy.5526. I'll let you go.